What up, y'all? Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at this overview trailer for Code Vein 2. It comes out, I believe, January 29th. A game I'm looking forward to. I played the first one back in 2019, beat it around that time as well. And now I'm replaying it for the channel in specific, so you should be able to find the videos in the description box below. But yeah, I'm excited for this joint. I hear that they're overhauling a lot of systems. They're making a lot of improvements. And I just want to see what they got to say. So without further ado, let's get it.
For centuries, the world has been tormented by a catastrophic mystery known as the Resurgence, a collapse that unleashed grotesque horrors and brought humanity to the brink of extinction. From the shadows rose the Revenants, immortals who fought back against the darkness and sealed the Resurgence away. Yet, one fateful event shattered the fragile balance. The ritual sustaining the seal began to weaken, threatening the world once more. In a final act of sacrifice, a group of Revenants, revered as the heroes, restored the seal. But their deed birthed the Lunar Rapaces, a haunting celestial body whose light suppresses Revenant power on the surface. Now,
okay, so I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to kind of be talking through this, so if you want to watch the video in full, I'll leave it down in the description below, like without any pauses or stops or anything like that. But this is a reaction. I'm reacting. So what she just described right there, it kind of sounds a little bit like the successor premise to the first game, which you pretty much had like the successor of the ribcage, successor of breath, and a bunch of other ones that pretty much was used to hold the queen in place, or the body parts of the queen in place, because the queen was like immortal apparently, and so she was eventually going to revive even though they killed her. So this kind of seems like it's a little bit of that case, except instead of it being on a singular person, this is about a world calamity that's getting ready to happen. I like that. I like the change.
a century later, the cocoons that hold these fallen heroes endure, but their seals are deteriorating. As they weaken, outbreaks of the Resurgence return, heralding the world's descent into chaos once again. In Code Vein 2, you'll take on the role of a Revenant hunter who wields unique powers, as well as an artifact on their back that allows them to utilize the inherent abilities of the Revenants during combat. Alongside a Revenant named Lou, who possesses...
That is a trap. But okay, let's go. Let's go back. I'm trying to see if I could get back to that part. So right here, this kind of reminds me of like the blood veils, but now they're not blood veils anymore. It looks like a little heart that's like on the back of the person that you could use. I don't know if that was the case in the first one. At least playing through the first one right now, like that don't seem to be the case of any type of device like that. It seems to actually be coming from the cloak that they're using. So that's interesting as well, that these hearts are like on them as well. And it seems like they're changing it around a little bit, instead of like the boar virus or the boar parasite being used to like try to amplify the powers of a revenant. Now they're just more so focused on whatever this thing is.
That. Alongside a Revenant named Lou, who possesses the power of traveling through time, you must find the key to stopping the world's collapse. And
I also could be wrong, because I said that that's a trap, but Lou could be a girl. I've never seen a girl named Lou, but could be a girl.
Prevent the Resurgence from being unleashed once again. Their quest begins as they leap into the past to earn the trust of the heroes of old, looking to undo the seals of their cocoons in the present to put an end to them once and for all.
Hold up, that boss looked fire. Let me go back to that. This is what I'm talking about. This is what one needed. That looks fire. The gold blended in with the flesh. And then it looks to be like some sort of decay effect on it as well. That looked tough.
Before getting too far ahead, though, let's talk about the character creation system, which has been massively upgraded, surpassing the depth of the previous title. You can fine-tune your character's physique, customize your character's hair down to the smallest details, such as the length of the bangs and the degree of curl. Adjust the angle and sharpness of the ears, select nail colors, and specialize your look with the game's distinctive Kensuke-style detailing. As for costume and appearance, the The wardrobe system offers limitless combinations for personalization, a rich assortment of costume variations, in-depth color customizations, a per-part
people gonna
on-off
get
feature
lost
to
in
mix
this.
and match.
My
You can
character
even
gonna be black and
customize the
red.
material texture and patterns. Now, with your personalized character finished, let's embark on an adventure that transcends time.
Black, white, and red.
In Code Vein 2, you'll have an entirely new world to explore, either on foot or using your motorcycle. Some of the many different biomes include the Sunken City, a city half submerged by the resurgence and full of polluted water in the present.
What up? You get a mount in this game? Does that mean the world is going to be like super huge? I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all don't need to make super huge worlds. Just figure out a way to make them, how do I put it? Because Code Vein 1 was like heavily corridor-esque, where like there were lanes that you were going down and that lane led to one specific thing. I think if you just branch the paths a little bit more and you actually add some irregularities to the path or some irregular shapes, that would be fine, because a lot of them was kind of rectangular in nature. I think you'll be good, but I don't think, you know what? I'm talking too much, because they probably saw Elden Ring and was like, yeah, we should do that.
The many different biomes include the Sunken City, a city half submerged by the resurgence and full of polluted water in the present. The Undead Forest, covered in resentment, with a cocoon leaking resentment throughout haunted woods. The Corroded Scar, a ravine filled with ore and acid. The world is vast and full of secrets, as you will discover on your adventure. Keep an eye open for cocoons that...
Oh, that's interesting right there. So it looks like there's going to be materials actually on the ground now that you could pick up. Because I know that in 1, they're just like little shinies. And in certain locations, it's difficult to see the shinies. Like one of the spots is the Rigid Frost or whatever. Because they're white, it's difficult to see them in the snow. So I would look at, I know when I was playing, I would look at the mini map to see where the X was, go over to it, and I'd just be mashing X. So it's kind of nice that they're giving it like their own object within the game world that'll just disappear once you pick it up. I like that.
On your adventure. Keep an eye open for cocoons that reside in some of these lands. You won't have to explore by yourself though, as you'll have powerful allies who can fight alongside you or enhance your abilities. Each partner offers unique special effects called link traits and partner trait bonuses. Link traits are active only while your bond with the partner is strong, temporarily disappearing if the bond weakens from damage. Partner trait bonuses provide passive effects, like stat boosts or added combat benefits, and can be further enhanced by deepening your relationship. There are 2 ways to utilize your partner in combat. The first is summoning, where you'll unleash your partner to fight by your side. They'll act independently, launching attacks and providing support during combat. This can be useful when fighting large groups of enemies. The second is assimilation. With this option, your partner and you become one, as they enhance your powers, stats, and abilities. This is effective when fighting powerful enemies one-on-one. One of the biggest benefits to using a partner is the restorative offering, which restores your health when your HP drops to 0. However, after it's activated, your partner will be incapacitated for a short time, during which they cannot perform the action again. If you don't want to rely on your partner bringing you back to life, then you'll need to master all the tools at your disposal in combat.
I think I like this. Because like the main issue that I'm having with Code Vein 1 as I'm like replaying through it right now, because it's, again, my first playthrough of it was like, I didn't really remember everything. I don't remember everything that I did because it was like 7 years ago. But as I'm playing through it now, I'm noticing there are a lot of things in it that are good, but then there's a lot of things in it that are bad. And one of the main things that is bad is like the balancing of the game. And seeing how they're doing the partner system this time around, because a lot of Souls-like players, they don't necessarily want to go in with like not necessarily the handicap system, but the easy mode system, which a lot of Souls-like games are starting to incorporate without actually adding in an easy mode. Like for example, in Elden Ring, your easy mode would be the Mimic tier. And Liza P, your easy mode would be to use the fountain to summon someone to help you out in the fight. Same thing would go with like Dark Souls. Dark Souls would be the Revenants that you could summon to help come in to help you fight during boss battles and all that. So it's just nice to see that they're doing this in an interesting way, because in a lot of cases, sometimes the partner would just like take aggro off and it'll make the fight non-existent. Like in the last boss fight that I just did, because I just completely gave in and I was like, Bumpy, you designed the game this way. I'm just going to use the system in the way that you designed it for the game. And it's nice to see that they actually took that into account and they gave you multiple ways for you to overcome the balancing of the game that's skewed towards, you know, the partner.
In Code Vein 2, a drain attack is an offensive maneuver used to extract blood from enemies and gaining Ichor, making it an essential part of combat in the game. Using this Ichor will allow you to unleash powerful attacks called Formae, which we'll talk about more shortly.
Oh, so it's no longer gifts.
Your partner also performs their own drain attacks for both offense and support. The blood they absorb is shared with you, restoring a small amount of your Ichor. Hitting an enemy with successive attacks may put them in a staggered state, leaving them vulnerable and allow you to perform powerful special drain attacks. Not all drain attacks are equal, though. There are various types, which will differ depending on the jail you have equipped. Jails are special equipment on your character's back that can be equipped to modify stats and perform drain actions. Each jail has specific traits that will be useful in different situations, so be sure to equip the right one depending on what you need. Formae are powerful attacks that can be unleashed using the Ichor you harvest from enemies during drain attacks. There are 3 types of Formae that you can use. You can equip up to 4 weapon Formae to your weapon. They are divided into drain attacks.
Hold up, a couple of things real quick. This is the exact one that I currently, the exact blood bill that I have on right now on my dude.
So be sure to equip
that one. I have that exact blood veil on, but they're calling them jails now. So that's interesting. But there was one thing that I did just notice with the Formae.
Drain attacks.
And that's this. It looks like they brought back a lot of these that were in the game as gifts, or in the first game as gifts. And they're still keeping the same system where you have the equipment where they match with equipments. They also have like a specific skill need or need to be met, like kind of like mind, dexterity, strength, and all of that. That's all still there that I can see right here. And you can still see like the equal consumption for it as well. And then they said that they have 3 categories, which is kind of similar to what they have in the original game. I think they're just more so expressing it now, which is one of the categories here seems to be combat. Another category is going to be utility. And I got a feeling another one is going to be defense.
Types of Formae that you can use. You
or
can
magic.
Equip up to 4 weapon Formae to your weapon. They are divided into combat Formae for unleashing weapon attacks, magic Formae for long distance attacks, and support Formae that grant various buffs.
So they called it support instead of utility, but essentially that, yeah. All right.
And enhancements. A bequeathed Formae summons a unique weapon while in combat.
Holy!
For example, summon a great sword and unleash a single, devastating strike. While the summon does take time, landing this powerful attack can prove to be the ultimate finishing maneuver.
That's tough.
Survival is also a priority, and defensive Formae let you tailor your approach with defensive and evasive actions. Choose to equip one of the following: a guard, a counter, or a special evasive maneuver to avoid taking large amounts of damage in the heat of battle.
That man turned into Virgil right there.
You'll also want to pick which weapon type suits you best, and there's a lot to pick from, each with their own strengths depending on the situation you're in. For striking quickly at enemies and getting a lot of hits in, you'll want to go with weapon types brand new to Code Vein 2, Twin Blades and Rune Blades. If you're going to be more measured with your attacks and want to pack a big hit when you connect, the Great Sword, Halberd, or Hammer might be what you're looking for. Check out the Bayonet if you...
Hold up, is she a regular enemy?
Might be what you're looking
for. That's a regular enemy. She regular degular out here. No, that's a boss
Check
arena.
out the
Never mind.
bayonet if you want to keep enemies at arm's length and strike from range.
Blood codes, builds,
With
and
the
boosters.
series' new build system, you can freely customize weapons and skills to suit your playstyle. Blood codes affect how each Revenant's powers manifest. Each blood code provides a different combat style, and you'll gradually...
That looked like a lot of them. Hold up. And how many was that? Go back one more.
Weapons and skills to suit your playstyle. Blood
Lu 1, Lu 2, Lu 3
codes affect how
of the
each Revenant...
Superbia bloodline. That's crazy. So there are going to be a lot of different ones that each give you different stats depending on what you're trying to do. So what was that first
Customize
one?
weapons and
That
skills
first
to
one
suit
was
your
like
playstyle. Blood
Okay, so the first one seemed kind of... No, the first one is a mind build, so a spellcaster
codes
build.
affect how
The
each
second one is still a mind build, but with more
Revenant's
vitality.
power
And the third and fourth is mind vitality. Actually, well, it's more skewed towards mind, but still.
manifest. Each blood code provides a different combat style, and you'll gradually unlock more as you progress through the story. Using different blood codes allows for all kinds of various character builds that you can customize and make your own. Challenge enemies directly with a strength-based melee build. Center your attention on powerful, epic attacks with a Formae build. Do your damage at a distance with a ranged build.
They have a ton of enemy
Move around
variety
the
that I'm
battlefield
seeing
with
too.
lightning quick speed with a build that focuses on mobility and dexterity. The choice is up to you how you want to fight. On top of all of this, boosters can increase your stats and activate traits that provide various beneficial effects.
Hit her with a light sword attack. Oh my bad. I had the mouse still on screen. Minis and
If you want to
bosses.
survive in Code Vein 2, you'll need everything you've
Oh, they
learned
brought
about
that
here,
thing back.
because the various enemies and bosses that you encounter in the game are going to test all of your skills. You'll come across regular mobs, special enemies, mini-bosses, and of course, massive bosses that require a lot of skill and focus to defeat.
Okay.
Thanks for watching and learning about some of the different systems in Code Vein 2. We hope you look forward to the game when it releases on January 30th, 2026.
It's the
Early
30th. I
access
said
starts
29.
on January 26th for owners of Deluxe, Ultimate, or Collector's Editions.
Not gonna lie to you, I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this game is gonna be dope. I'm really looking forward to it. I think this journey is gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to play. To me, it seems like it already made like massive changes or
Measured with
overhauls
your
to
attack.
systems that I have gripes with in the first game. One is the blood code system. I think it's not necessarily too complicated or convoluted. It's just the way that you get abilities are a bit weird, and like you have to it's like a three-step verification process where one, you got to go get a vestige. You get the vestige. After you get the vestige, you watch the vestige or go through the vestige. After you do that, you then got to make sure you got the right amount of haze. Then after you get the haze, you then also got to have this other material that would allow you to unlock it faster so that you could use it towards your build if it's something that matches it. Or you got to use that blood code and then go and kill enough enemies to then unlock and master it. And it's like, all right, bro. All right, bro, that's a little too much. You gave some options towards the tail end, but at the tail end, you turned it into a bit of a grind. So it's just like, all right, but it seems like they made some changes there. And then in other areas, like just looking at the combat a little bit, it seems like they fixed the drain attack like greatly. Now, granted, I don't think the drain attack or the hold X was something that I was doing a lot. I was mostly like going for backstabs, but it seems like they've made some changes in that area too. So I'm curious to see like how this all pans out. I'm hoping they fix like the charge up time for the drain attack too, because for me, that's what made the drain attack unusable. I'd rather just whack a creature in the face to get my equal back rather than drain the blood from them. So if it's unbearable again, at least make it so that I can whack them still to get my equal back. But other than that, yeah, this is looking like it could be good. The whole motorcycle mount jank look kind of tough. I love a lot of the different designs for the enemies that I'm seeing in the game as well, because I would say that would probably be another gripe with the first game, which would be like the lack of enemy variation, because you pretty much fight against, like, I want to say the same 3 archetypes throughout the first half of the game. And that could be fine if like you mix it up a little bit, right? But you know, you know. But other than that, I am looking forward to this. I do like the 2 new weapons that they added, which was the dual blades as well and the run blades. They both look cool. I don't think I'm gonna use them because I'm looking at how they hitting the enemies right now with them janks.
One of the following.
Except with the sword right there. The sword right there didn't look like the enemy had super armor.
Or a special evade.
But I think it was, let me see. I'm trying to see. That's breath Formae. I think it was like I was watching.
Want to pick which weapon type suits you best.
So yeah, you see him hit him with the spear. That got some bounce back. That doesn't.
You're in.
So that has a lot of poise.
For striking quickly at enemies and getting a lot of hits.
But there you go.
You'll want to go with weapon types brand new to Code
okay,
Vein
never
2.
mind.
Twin.
Never mind. I'm seeing good things then all around. I'm actually seeing when enemies get hit, they gotta stagger to them. Because I know in 1, I would have to use my stagger buff to like stagger, make it so that I can stagger enemies a bit easier. And like even then, they would still beat my face in. Sometimes they'd like muscle through that giant and just pow, hit me one good time. So yeah, this is looking kind of tough. I can't wait to get my hands on it.